Check. All right. Hello, welcome to Young Reech Capital's YouTube live stream. This is Bitcoin at the New York Open. We're looking pretty volatile today. I was looking at this trade potentially. I have not yet taken it. I was just placing it. I will make sure to tag into the trade and I will put it in here saying live trade. We are still potentially waiting for confirmation. Basically, I'm looking to take the trade based on this Fibonacci pocket right here. And I am going to be taking the trade like so for a 2 hour trade. There we go. That's what I'll be looking at. But I'm not yet tagged into this trade. So just waiting for confirmation. As soon as we have confirmation, I will let you know once I've entered into this trade. We are still waiting for confirmation. We had this crazy move up after we had a sweep of this liquidity right here with this move. Faked everybody out thinking that this trend line will hold after breaking down from it, but turns out it took out all of this liquidity right here, which is precisely why I am now looking to take a long. As soon as we have confirmation, I will tag into this trade. Basically, what I'm looking to see is we get some confirmation back above this trend line. That's when I'd like to enter the trade. At the moment, I've just placed it so that I don't lose out on time for the trade placement. Have to be quick with the price action on BTC. Will immediately let you know once there is a trade opportunity. We are still waiting on the sideline. We have not yet entered into this trade. This is just a placeholder right now, this trade setup. Just make sure you are aware of that. This is precisely why I'm looking for a long, because we have had a break of these highs. At the same time, we've taken the liquidity of this. But there seems to be a lot of bearish pressure as well. So, which is exactly why I am waiting for this trade to complete itself and give me confirmation. Until then, I still on the sidelines. Not wait. I haven't placed a trade. This trade is inactive. I'm waiting for the price to start forming some sort of move back into this trend line, and then I would gladly take a trade in this zone right here. We are still below this, so let's just wait for confirmation above this blue line that I've placed right here. Patience is key. Still on the sidelines, waiting for confirmation on this Bitcoin trade. We are quite volatile. I'm going to put that in there as well. Just to make sure everybody's aware, the market is quite volatile with the New York Open after not a not a crazy weekend for Bitcoin. It was pretty nominal. Today's New York Open is showing quite a lot of volatility in the market. We had a low volume weekend, so the price action just started to develop with the close of this week, if you see this right here, right about 3 p.m., we had this massive dump of about $2,500 or so. Massive dump right here. So the market is trying to balance it out at this New York Open. Just to be clear, we are still not tagged into this trade. I'm going to let you know as soon as I enter into a trade. Please be aware of that fact that we are still on the sideline. This is just a placeholder for now. I'm waiting for confirmation for the price to come into this trend line, and only then I will take and place a long position to target this high right here. At the moment, we are looking at some major volatility in the price. So please be aware, the market is sizzling right now with the New York Open. We're looking at Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. We'll be discussing the plan for BTC Bitcoin this week. Also, we'll take a look at Ethereum. I'm also going to be looking at two altcoins as well. As promised last week, I'm going to be looking at least two altcoins and go over the previous analysis from last week of the two altcoins that we looked at. Three altcoins actually. We looked at, what did we look at? The altcoins that we looked at was Sui, Fartcoin, Peanut, and Trump, and also EOS as well. Today will do Ondo and Pendle. Before that, I would like to take a look at Sui, because Sui is quite an interesting token. It's been making a pretty good move the past 1 month. Actually, it's been doing well ever since the news of the tariffs halt on Trump's orders. So we're going to take a look at Sui in just a moment, as soon as we start seeing some confirmation of Bitcoin. Looks like the price on Bitcoin wants to go below this low. It's the market is playing around with both the sides, so please be careful. This, I would recommend that this is a no trade zone completely. I'm going to get rid of this. Since I never entered a trade, I wouldn't recommend anybody taking that trade at all. I do not want to confuse anyone by leaving that on there. Just to be clear, we never entered into a trade. As soon as we get confirmation, I am going to let you know, and we will enter into a trade on Bitcoin. And I will let you know immediately as soon as we get confirmation of the price action on Bitcoin. The market is looking crazy volatile right now, so please trade carefully. Let's keep it simple. It's best not to trade right now until we have some confirmations. We need to have some good convictions and a reaction of the price action towards a certain direction to take the trade. I'm going to wait and let the price action tell me where it wants to go. Since the market is trying to take the liquidity of both sides, at this moment it would be recommended not to take a trade into Bitcoin, because the price is highly volatile. So it's best to just chill out and stay on the sidelines, wait for the price action to starts showing some strength to either side. At the moment, the bears are winning. We are looking bearish on Bitcoin. This entire move is almost fully retraced. That is Bitcoin for you on Monday with the New York Open. Recommended trading activity at the moment is zero. Please stay out of the market right now. That's what I would recommend. We will look for some potential trades once we break this trend line. Or if we break this low, we could be looking to take a potential trade as well. Let's just wait and see what happens. All right. Okay, I'm going to take a small risk into Bitcoin right here. Just below this low, I'm going to target this high. Slightly below the high, so that would be a 2-hour trade. All right. This is now a live trade. I have entered into this trade is now live. As I said, I needed confirmation of the trend direction change, and we have it right here. This is where I have entered my position with this low as my stop loss, just below this low. Just in case we start moving below this, then my invalidation is quite clear. I'll be stopped out and I'll be looking to take a short below this level. It's quite simple, binary. There's no need to complicate things. And as soon as we start seeing some conviction above this trend line, I'm quite certain that Bitcoin is going to take its trade all the way to this high and quite possibly into this key level. The 95,000 level is going to be a very key level. Just going to bring that here to make sure that it is clear that the market is super volatile. I wish TradingView had shortcuts for these, the brush tool, also the ray tool. Couple of things don't have a shortcut. That's all right. Yeah, just take a look at that lovely move. As I suggested, a beautiful entry into Bitcoin on this trendline breach. We were quite early on with this entry, so hopefully we get a quick reaction to this target. As soon as we tap into this trend line, I'm going to be looking to take 50% of my profits at this trend line right here. I'd be looking to take 50% off the table just to be fully risk off, right? This would be a perfect place to take 50% of the trade. At the moment, let's just see where the trade goes. This is my entry, this is my stop loss, this is going to be my full TP, this is going to be my TP1. Simple, clear trade. Beautiful reaction of BTC with this trendline breach, and we are back above this trend line that initially broke down from, and we also faked everybody out, retraced back down. So, as I said, the market volatility is really high. So, please be aware, stay risk off as soon as possible. Try and keep the trades with minimal capital at the moment because we are looking super volatile. I'm warning and I'm giving this as a word of caution. Please take it from that perspective so that you don't end up risking too much. Take it easy, small risk, small capital, and try and go risk off as soon as possible. As I said, as soon as we reach this trend line right here, I'm going to be taking 50% of my profits. At the same time, I'm going to be moving my stop loss to break even right here. As soon as we move into this zone, I'm going to take 50% profits, also move my stop loss to break even. As soon as we reach, we're very close. I'll be moving my stop loss all the way to break even right here. It's still there. I'm going to trail my stops to just below this. My stops have been trailed just below this low. And we're looking pretty good on the trade. As I said, I was waiting for confirmation of BTC to give me some potential direction, idea for which direction that the trade wanted to move towards. And we got a quite an early entry because I saw this beautiful bullish candle right here. And of course, I also do like to trade based on instinct as well, based on my personal instinct and experience with New York Open, and also looking at this kind of a move where the market is trying to take a certain volatile approach after having this massive dump, right? So it's gonna have to balance itself up to a point until it either has a continuation to the downside or maybe go back up. That remains to be seen, but at the moment we are looking good on this long trade. Make this clear. All right, this is what we're looking at on BTC. It's a beautiful trade right here. And there's another reason why I was looking to take this trade is because on the RSI, if you notice right here, we have something like this. This is what's known as a bullish divergence, with the price making lower lows and the RSI making higher lows, which gave me the confidence to look for longs rather than shorts in this region, right? There could have been, and there still can be, a potential move to the downside with the RSI creating higher lows as well. Absolutely possible, no doubt. But I honestly feel that a three tap is what price usually does before it starts moving in the direction that it intends to go towards. We had one and two and three. Same thing out here, one, two, and three, and then look at the reaction to the upside. If we had to go to the downside, then after the third reaction, we would have potentially come back down, right? Which we didn't. So, which is precisely why I took this long. And just look at the way the price is reacting. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That is what is known as a lovely reaction on Bitcoin. Quite a simple trade, very simple, as I mentioned. Initially, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, I was waiting for confirmation for the price to show me some reactions to either side, and now we are seeing a beautiful reaction. We have now tagged in of about 300 points on BTC, which is a beautiful move. I would be looking to take 50% of my profits right here, which is precisely what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to mark it out on the chart so that everybody knows to book profits right away. Please do that and try and stay risk off as soon as possible. As soon as we start tapping into this trend line, which we pretty much are right now, just make sure you are risk off. This trade, we have booked 50% profits. All right, 50% has been booked at the zone. I'm going to leave some runners for this high right here. We have booked 50% profit right here. Beautiful. What a lovely trade. Beautiful. This is the level that we have booked 50% profit. Just make sure that you secure 50% profits right here. I have secured 50% of my profits right here. We just hit a beautiful move of 300 ticks. That's beautiful. And I'm looking to target this high, which is going to give us a move of about 650 pips. That's 650 points from our entry. And by the time we reach these zones, our stops will be here or here, which will essentially lead us to be in complete and full profit in this trade. Since we have already booked 50% of our profit, I am now just gonna take a chill and look to have my rest of the trade run into this high right here, and then I'll be out of the trade gladly. I will be a spectator rather than a trader once we hit this target. Hopefully, we do hit this target right away without any retracement. That would be great. If we just keep going, I am feeling it right now. The juice is coming in from the bulls. There is a good momentum to the upside. The volume is hitting the right notes for the price to push beyond this trend line. There is going to be some sort of rejection here. Hopefully, we push through and get a beautiful reaction to this. As I said, we are getting some potential rejection resistance out here, which is precisely why I have booked 50% of my profits. Just make sure everything is clear. 50% of profits have been booked at this level. As I said, we will be resisting the price in this zone. Hopefully we don't resist too much and come back down into these zones. That wouldn't be too great for BTC, honestly. Maybe a retest of this trend line could be a possibility, no doubt. Sweep this low, fake everybody out with this move as well. Absolutely possible for the price to sweep the liquidity right below this, tap into this trend line right here. Show you a potential possibility of a bearish scenario right now after tapping into this trend line, sweep this liquidity and then go back up. Absolutely possible without a doubt, but we are gonna have to wait to see if that happens. All of that remains to be seen, so let's take it one candlestick at a time. Be patient and let the price speak for the trade. At the moment, we are in the green. We are looking pretty good. We are looking clean on this trade. Lovely reaction. Have booked 50% profits right here. Whatever runners are left are going to be targeting this high. Then we will be hitting full TP. Will you look at that? As I said, we are going to be facing a resistance at this trend line, and take a look at this candle. We just tapped exactly into this trend line and we came back down. So it was a good move that we booked 50% profit at this trend line. I'm glad we did so. I'm hoping we do take support within this trend line itself and then break through. But this candle is quite a powerful bearish candle. So let's just take it easy and see what happens. Let's not get ahead of the price. It has got to now take support within this zone, because I do not want to see the price coming below my entry right here, because if we start doing that, then the price will absolutely look to sweep this low right here and then go up. Honestly, I feel like that is what is going to happen. This is a scenario that I had laid out. Rejection at this trend line and then kind of come back down into this, go back up. Let's see what happens. Ha, look at that. That is proper bearish reaction to the price. Massive rejection at the trend line. Crazy, as a matter of fact. Crazy rejection. That's what Bitcoin has been doing the past couple of trading sessions. Is it this entire week has been super volatile, even with the pump on Bitcoin. It hasn't been trading the way it usually does. There's been a lot of manipulation. There's been a lot of massive random inflows of bids into the positions of long for PTC, especially with Michael Saylor just buying up all the supply for Bitcoin. He's just making all the purchases on Bitcoin, because there are plenty of other people purchasing Bitcoin as well with a lot of money. But Michael Saylor is one of the top Bitcoin maximal players in the market right now. As I said, we are super volatile and we are going to get rejected at this price, and that's precisely what we did. I'm happy that we were able to book 50% of profits at this level. I called it out live just to make sure that there was no lapse in the judgment of taking profits, which is what we need to do. So even if we hit our stop loss right here, it's not going to make much of a difference to us because we are already pretty risk off on this. Our initial stop loss was down here, and then since we moved it to this level, we have cut our stops by almost half, and also we have fully, not fully, 50% booked our profits. So overall, we are in the clear on this trade. I'm not gonna worry too much if our stops get hit. It's gonna be a small percent of this 50% profit. So we're still gonna be in the green even if we get stopped out of this trade. So looking good. As I said, I have placed this disclaimer right here that the market is volatile. So which is precisely why I took 50% profits right here. Let's look at this cruel price action playing out. But if you know how to take these quick scalps on Bitcoin, it's absolutely possible that you can still stay in the green and be quite relaxed without having any unnecessary losses. As I was saying, even if we end up taking out this low, which will essentially hit our stop loss, it's not going to make a dent in our trade, overall trade PNL, because we have booked 50% profits right here. And that's going to lead us to be in the green regardless. I'm hoping that we don't get tagged out of this trade and we get a good reaction right here and go back up. Hoping that happens, but looking at the volatility, it's not looking too good. We we are back below this trend line as well, which is again a bearish sign, no doubt. So not really liking this price action as much. It is funky price action, absolutely funky. But please do stay risk off and try as much to not overtrade in this condition. It's best to just relax, stay out of the market during these kind of extreme volatile maneuvers. Right, just take a look at this. Yeah, taking support at our entry zone. Support is being taken right here. I would say please stay risk off as much as possible. Highly recommended. Look at that. There's another reaction to the downside. Below our entry, we are very close to getting stopped out, but we are still going to be in the green because we have booked 50% profits right here. So overall, successful trade. I'm gonna just watch out for the price action right at this low. Hopefully, we do stay above these lows. That would be really good, to be really honest. It's highly likely, as I said, we come into sweep this low at the this low right here, sweep this liquidity, and then go back up. That's what it does usually when Bitcoin is so volatile, right? It does, the price does want to go up. There is a lot of bullish pressure. At the same time, there's way more bearish pressure, a lot of selling pressure. Still a good trade though. We are very close to getting stopped out. I'm hoping that this low holds. Really will be a blessing if this low holds. Gonna have to wait and watch what happens out here. Oh, let me mark this out here slightly better. All right. Looks like the low is holding up. This order block was a good one. No, not really. Getting converted quite rapidly to the downside. So this is the kind of price action that is slightly imbalanced. I wouldn't call it a clear price action trading day today. It's unnecessarily volatile. That's what usually happens on Mondays. People, the markets are volatile every Monday. There's always some sort of manipulation, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So it's best to take these quick scalps and get out of the market as soon as possible. Yeah. And looks like we are going to get taken out of this trade. Overall in the green because we did book 50% of our profits right here. Just make sure we have that noted. Very close to getting stopped out. We haven't yet taken out this low. I'm hoping we still have some support in at this order block. It's a very weak order block though. This is a weak low. It's not a weak low, it is a strong low. This would be a strong low. So this overall, this order block should hold up technically. We shouldn't get a sweep of this low. This is a high volume move right here. High momentum, high volume. You see, we are getting some support in the zone. At the same time, there's a lot of selling pressure. But the price does want to go up because let's just take a look at the RSI, right? The RSI is telling a completely different story from what the price action is trying to show us. The price action is trying to go down, but the RSI is going up. Just take a look at this massive divergence situation. Yeah, but that's how it goes. Bitcoin is always here to kill the party. On the day that the party has just started for the altcoins, it starts doing its usual nonsensical things. But that's expected out of a Monday New York session. All right, we have been tagged out of this trade, and overall, we are in the green because we booked 50% profits right here. Hopefully, we get a better opportunity once this low has been taken out. We shall see what happens. Gonna have to stay patient, relaxed, and let's wait it out. Today's price action is way too volatile for the general retail traders, which is why there's a lot of people getting stopped out of all sorts of trades. A lot of people got stopped out of this trade right here, This trade right here as well, the short position started off with this short position. A lot of people got stopped out above this high, this right here with this move. Then a lot of people got stopped out right here with this move. Then a lot of people got stopped out right here as well, just below this with this move. And then now a lot of people getting stopped out below this because of this move. So this is a massive ping pong. Look at this nasty price action. With this Monday's New York Open, let me tell you, the price is doing things that are quite manipulative. So please be clear, steer clear. We did take a quick scalp and overall left the trade with profits. Overall, we were in the green, even though we got stopped out of this trade. We did book 50% profits at this trend line as I recommended. Took out the position out here, 50% of the position, hopefully hoping to let the runner go up, but we did not see that. We are only seeing massive bearish pressure on Bitcoin. Yeah, it's quite unnatural for BTC to do this after we've had such a massive dump, right? But it is absolutely natural for the price to manipulate on a Monday with the New York Open. That is historically proven that the Monday New York Open is always going to be volatile. I'm just hoping we don't take out this low and continue to take support right here and then go back up. Because if we start breaking down from this low, our next support zone is going to be, because once we break down from this low, it's just inevitably going to break down from this low as well, right? So if I'm going to have to go into the 15-minute, it's going to give us a clear cut picture, show us where the price wants to go. See, in the 15-minute, we have broken down from this pattern. And overall, we do have pretty good support out here. Oh no, mute all of this text. Right? So this is the Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. Let me pull up 30-minute, slightly easier to look at. There we go. See, we have some pretty good support on Bitcoin out here in these levels. Let me tell you, it's not going to be easy for the bears to break through, even though they are trying their level best to break through this. We do have a lot of support. So people who are bullish on Bitcoin right now can remain bullish, but please do be aware that the price can break this level anytime soon. It looks like the price is weirdly bearish today, even after we had this massive dump. Not a fan of the price action today on BTC with the New York Open, even though we did leave a trade in the green and we booked 50% of our profits. The price action is being manipulated. There is no hope right now for the bears, for the bulls, excuse me. Looks like BTC is trying to manipulate and clear out the liquidity below this low or this low. But at the moment, it's trying to clear out this liquidity right here. Once we do that, it's definitely going to take support. Let me tell you, we are definitely going to take support out here. The price is not 90K region so easily. The 90K zone is a huge support zone for Bitcoin. Make sure you note that down, because after such a major rally, the price is not going to just so easily move back down into these lows, right? There's going to be a lot of support. Even though there is absolutely a possibility for the price to dump all the way through some news and all whatever manipulations that Bitcoin goes through. Um, but we do have some support in this zone right here, which is the 90K zone, right? I can be precise and I can show you exactly the level Bitcoin will take support at right here, which is 90,900. This would be actually, this would be a zone rather than just a horizontal line. This would be a zone. Mark that out on the chart. There we go. This is going to be a demand zone for BTC right here. Absolutely certain that it's going to take support out here and then go back up. So usually that's what BTC does. Starts creating these weird ranges that it trades within, right? And I don't even think it's going to go below this low right here. This low is going to be a pretty heavy support right here. This is itself is going to be a support before we reach the 90K runners out here. This low is going to be a tight spot for the bears to push down from. It's going to take support here for sure. Absolutely certain that it's going to take support here. So I'm going to mark out that order block. Right? Let's take a look at this move. This is a pretty big move, man. This is a move of about 5,000 when there's such a huge move, and after all the liquidity is completed of this entire move, where else is the market going to go? The liquidity, the balance, the price has balanced itself, and whatever you're seeing right now is just a form of manipulation of the price because the liquidity has been balanced. This entire move's liquidity has been balanced. So if we have to trade within the range, we have to now target all of this liquidity. That's how the price and that's how the algorithms like to move, right? It likes to target whatever liquidity is resting either below certain trend lines or whatever, liquidity is liquidity. You can put all sorts of labels on it. Whatever label you want to put on it, liquidity is still going to be liquidity. It's essentially just money, stop loss orders set, just waiting at certain regions, zones. And if you see the price go further away from these zones after tapping into them, just know that that is a certain manipulation or a reset in the trend. That could also be another possibility. So if it's not a manipulated event, it's either a reset of the price, trend, direction, right? That's called a change in direction. At the moment, I would consider it a manipulation rather than a change in direction because this kind of price action only exists when there is a manipulation. When there's a change in direction, the price action moves very smoothly. It does not do these unnecessary kill stops, all of this, all of this, and this even right now what it's doing. So that's one, two, three, four, five times that it is manipulating the stop loss orders over the course of 2 hours. 2 hours. It is wrecked five zones, like micro zones within this small area with the New York Open, right? So, yeah, that's the only way for the price to continue to do that is it's to manipulate the price into this. It's not a change in direction. I will be quite certain of that. Because once we tap into this, the next logical move for the algorithms or the next logical move for the price in general, we take out the liquidity out here, right? At least till this level, which is this 95,000 level. Tap into that and then calm down. That's what healthy price action essentially means. is we can't just leave all of this liquidity sitting here to tap into within a range, usually when the range is formed, and for the price to change the direction after the range is formed, it completes itself, it completes the move, as it did right here. It has completed this entire move. Now it has to balance out this move. So as I said, it all the price has a three tap scenario. It taps it into the zones three times, and then it moves down, right? ABC, ABC patterns, or whatever you want to call it. Three trend line tap, whatever, all different labels you can slap on the price action, but it's going to tell you the same thing, that it needs to sweep the order sitting above each level, right? Look at this. The price swept out all of the liquidity sitting here with this move. Now, what it is doing essentially is it is trying to take out the liquidity below these zones, which it looks like it's trying to do, right? Um, but the algorithm is not letting it, or like in general, the price action, like the market movers, the money flow into the market is not letting that happen. That is precisely why the price is chopping up so much right now at this very moment. You can see that in the RSI as well. The RSI is the best example of uh, manipulated price action, right? It's quite simple, actually, not at all complicated. So this right here is going to be a very strong low, and I'm going to complete that. Let me just go into this real quick to out this order block, which we still have not tapped into. And that's it. This is going to be a massive support zone right here, right? And look at that. BTC is again making a move to the upside. As I said, that's exactly what I said, that the price on BC would do exactly that. Come into this low, tap into the orders out here, take the liquidity of this low. Almost took the liquidity, but it looks like the price was defended at this low, so the stops right below this low are safe. And look at that reaction just below this. But we did get a sweep of liquidity right here. Look at this. All the stops that were below this low have been completely taken out. And then now we are seeing a reaction. So clean. The price action, especially during these volatile moments, show us what simple market dynamics are all about. It's taking liquidity from each side, finding fair value zones, and playing between certain ranges. And once we start breaking out of a range, that's when we reach price discovery zones and new price regions. And that is the beauty of trading and market analysis and chart breakdowns and whatnot. It's the whole beauty of trying to find levels and looking at discovering new levels, discovering new price action possibilities, all of that. That is the great thing about trading, I would say, is to find where the price goes, and essentially the drift within a certain shift of momentum, if I may put it so lightly. So yeah, this is the only way for the price to do its thing, is to just keep taking liquidity from certain areas, moving into fair value zones, and ping pong between ranges. And then once we break the range, a new place for the price to move towards. Psychological zones, fair value zones, supply and demand zones, all of that. All right, so that's it for BTC today. I'm going to quickly go into the points before we wrap up for today's live stream. Let me pull up the 1 hour chart on SUI. All right, look at that beautiful reaction on SUI. As I had mentioned, we had a triple top formation. I made it very clear on the stream where I broke down SUI is we will get a retest of this trend line and then we're going to come back down, probably tap into the zone. We didn't get full confluence into the zone, but we did get a reaction at this fair value. I had mentioned that as well in the stream that we do have fair value support out here, and also mentioned a potential bearish scenario for a short out here for SUI because of this divergence situation, right? So all of these scenarios had been laid out quite clearly on the stream for SUI. At the moment, I wouldn't be looking to take any trades into SUI because Bitcoin is bearish. It has started to move towards a shift in direction to the downside. So do be aware that we could continue to chop around in this range until Bitcoin then shows us some potential opportunities. So that's when SUI would then break out of this. This would be my potential idea for SUI. We are going to have to come into this median, then only then we have an opportunity for a long. As I have marked out these prices, 2.98, the 2.37 are going to be key buying zones for SUI. Sorry for that, we had a technical glitch. I think we're back online. So as I was mentioning, SUI, this is what I have for SUI, SUI. It's an altcoin, has been trading really well this past 2 weeks. So these are my key levels, these are my key price points, the high $3 mark, the 2.9 mark, the 2.3 mark are going to be your buy zones. The 3.4, 3.5, 3.9 mark is going to be your 3.7 is going to be your selling zone, because we are within a range now. As soon as we break through this range, then we're going to start seeing some potential bullish momentum on SUI. I'm going to do a separate breakdown of SUI, much cleaner. I'm going to put that out as a separate video on the YouTube channel. At the moment, this is what we have for SUI. Just mark these out on your chart and let the price do its thing. Also going to quickly mark out the fair value zone right here. All right, so these are gonna, this, all of this is gonna be your key level. This I'm gonna mark out as key level for SUI. All right, as you can see, we do have a breaker blocker formation out here, which is where we essentially took support. So yeah, this is gonna be your key level on SUI. Let's move that to the right. All right, great. So that's what we have on SUI right now, and then let's quickly break down Fartcoin as well. Yeah, as I have mentioned, Fartcoin has taken a rejection precisely at my level, my price point. How precise was that rejection? And that rejection is worth 18%. And that's not a joke, folks. 18% in a span of 4 days is quite a massive move. If you had taken a position at the $1.2 mark, you'd have hit a move of at least 15% to where the price is right now, to the downside, right? So these are going to be your levels on Fartcoin. Just mark it out, and we are super bullish on Fartcoin, as I keep saying. Do have lovely price action on Fartcoin. We have Peanut. Take a look at Peanut. As I had said, this is going to be my zone for Peanut. These are my levels that I have marked out on the chart. Can mark it out if you want. Pause the video And look at these levels. This is going to be my potential trade idea for peanut, waiting for price to hit this mark. And this is going to be my stop, entry, and my full TP. All right, so that's peanut. Let's move into Trump token. Yeah, look at that. This is exactly so beautifully playing out. I have marked out this level and just take a look at where the market is. The Trump token is taking support right here at my demand zone. Hopefully break this trend line sooner rather than later and then tap into this zone, and that's going to give us a move of about 44%. Beautiful. But please wait for the confirmation of this breach of the trend line and then a retest, and then it will do something like that. Trump token. I had marked out some potential scenarios on EOS. Wow, look at EOS as well. Look at how great that it is uh, managing to respect this trend line right here, and it is constantly taking support within this. So I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna mark this out as a zone rather than yeah, this would be something like this. Let's mark it out like that. All right, beautiful, beautiful price action on EOS as well. We could be looking to target this high and this high right here, or if BTC starts going down, we can be looking to target all of this and then come back into this demand zone and then go back up. These are some potential possibilities on EOS token. That is a move of about 37% to the downside, and that's a move of about 28% to the upside. So place your trades accordingly. Keep your risk to reward tight. Make sure you have confirmation of your trades before taking them. Keep it simple, not complicate things unnecessarily. This is going to be a key area. Yep. So trade accordingly. I said we're going to do a quick altcoin breakdown of Ondo and Pendle today, right? Let's do that as well. Pull up the 4-hour chart. We're looking at Ondo. All right. All right. Now let's now go into the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, Ondo is all right. I personally don't trade Ondo as much. Only when we start seeing some good momentum form on the chart is when I place trades on Ondo. Until then, I kind of stay away from it. This is what we are looking at for Ondo. Yeah, looks all right. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah, so we do have this situation right here with Ondo. That is an order block right there. If you take a look, right, that would be the bearish order block, and we do have a fair value gap sitting right here. Then we do have this level, which will be the buy zone. Right. Beautiful. Just take a look at that. The reaction at this fair value. And now we're trying to break through here. Might come in to tap this. These are potential scenarios on Ondo. Honestly, nothing too great on Ondo. Price action is quite stagnant. It's all right. I wouldn't personally trade this token anyway. So these are going to be the levels. Trade accordingly. And Pendle. Pendle is a very good token. I do like trading Pendle every now and then. It is a volatile token, no doubt, because you do know that it is volatile when you cannot find a decent trend line formation. It manipulates even the trend line, so that's when you know that the token is volatile. Right, so this would be the key levels for Rondo. This would be a zone rather. All right, would like to mark this out as our demand zone. There we go. Simple. On Pendle, this is what we have. We would be looking to target this high after we break these levels, and then potentially look to target all-time highs as well. But that would be much later in the future, so don't be expecting all-time high prices anytime soon. We first need to break this level, which is going to be a massive resistance zone. Also, we are in an uptrend, so that looks good. We need to stay above this trend line, and then we get a confirmation here, and then we would be looking. I'd be looking to take a long on Pendle right here. As soon as we confirm something like this, as soon as we get a confirmation of this break here, looking at a retest and then looking to target that. That's what I'd be doing. Or I'd be potentially looking to take a trade on Pendle over here as well. This is a trade that I'd definitely take, absolutely. This is a sizzling trade. As I say, a sizzling trade is a trade that I would take any day, because this is a beautiful zone of support, demand, and whatever you want to call it. This is where I would be taking a trade if it comes to these levels. All right, that's Pendle. These are your key levels. I don't need to go into the lower time frames because this is showing me all I need to know for the overall trend of Pendle. Yep, simple stuff. 4 hour chart on Pendle. So, all right, that's Pendle. Gonna quickly go back to Bitcoin and see where it's at on the higher time frame, just to be sure we are not missing anything major. Yeah, I keep saying that we are at uh, resistance, right? We are at the golden pocket from this high, and this low marks out the golden pocket retracement. So we are at a resistance. Nevertheless, it can still manipulate and go back up, no doubt. But as I keep saying, I have been mentioning to all the people, whoever has been viewing these live streams, that we are at a key level, right? This is a really a massive key level for BTC. This level right here, whatever this is between this zone, let's say zone rather than a level, right? There are plenty of levels within the zone. So let's just call it a zone. This zone right here is a massive resistance zone for BTC. It's going to be for quite some time. Mark my words. Now, this is going to be the range high, and this is going to be the range low. So, we're going to trade within this range for some time. Absolutely, without a doubt. Mark my words right here, right now. We're going to trade within this range everybody expecting all sorts of prices, right? 100K, 120K, 110K, all time highs, whatever. Yeah, man, that's absolutely possible. I'm not ruling that out. Nobody's ruling that out. But knowing simple price action and technicals and essential trading dynamics, the price will absolutely trade within the range for some time. That's how it goes. And I had also mentioned, right, that we have tapped into a demand zone after a long time. So we're going to have some more taps into these demand zones until the price is well and ready to, manipulate these lows and then go up. That's the only way for the price to be healthy, to go to the upside. Otherwise, if we start going to the upside when the RSI is showing all sorts of divergent scenarios, it's just going to dump on everyone. And I don't think anybody wants that, right? Nobody wants the price to dump and create a ruckus or chaotic scenario for anyone. We want clean price action, we want healthy price action, we want to trade with a peace of mind rather than unnecessary manipulations and chaotic situations. All right, that is Bitcoin for today. I'm going to be signing off. This is Young Reach Capital. I will be live tomorrow around the same time, New York Open. I will do some potential all trading and outputs on altcoins as well. And we will be back tomorrow to see if we have a opportunity to take a quick scalp on BTC with the New York Open. All right. Take care, trade safely, and I will see you all on the next one.